This is Kathy Deaton from Fan the Flame Ministries sharing with you nuggets of godly wisdom. This episode is titled The Holy Spirit Acts Powerfully Through Believing Prayer. I was raised in church and grew to feel that God was pleased with me because I did a lot of good works. I knew plenty of Bible stories and I know I was a Christian, but I did not have a real and personal relationship with God. I had absolutely no idea that the Holy Spirit desired to lead and guide me in my daily activities. And I certainly had no idea how to hear Him when He spoke to me. I did know about the Holy Spirit, but I did not let Him function in my life. I rarely asked Him for guidance because I was never taught to do that in the church where I grew up. The church is the one place where I should have been taught how to hear from and be led by the Holy Spirit. But I also should have taken it upon myself to read and study the Bible diligently to try to understand it and live by its principles. I found that it is possible to read the Bible daily and still not be changed by the words that are written on its pages. If you only read it because you know it's something you're supposed to do, it's pretty likely you won't be changed by what it says. But if you ask the Holy Spirit to reveal its truths, you will start to understand things you never have before. You might have read a verse 20 times. But now, you'll see it in a completely different light that is the exact truth you need for the moment. I wish I had received ongoing discipleship in this area from my church at a young age. But I do remember vividly one pastor we had when I was about 12 years old. He would tell us about a need in his life and how he prayed and asked God to meet that need. Then he would tell us about the very unusual way that God answered his prayer. I was always fascinated every time he would share one of his stories. He would talk about waiting on God, listening for Him to speak to you, and walking with God each day. I didn't fully understand what he was talking about at the time, but I truly believe that God used this pastor to plant a seed in my life. I don't think that seed grew much for several years, but as I got older, I would think about him and wish that my everyday prayer and faith life could be more like the one my pastors had spoken about those years ago. I wanted the faith to ask God to do the impossible and truly believe He would do it. Even today, I'm not sure how many churches in North America do a good job of showing people in a practical way how to hear from and be led by the Holy Spirit in their everyday lives. The importance of waiting on God and how to pray with a real and true faith. You don't have to make decisions on your own, whether large or small, because the Holy Spirit knows the answer and will be happy to show you. What an awesome feeling to know that each decision will be the right one, and years down the road you won't have to look back with regret over choices that you've made. Recent statistics have shown that many people don't see the need for God in their lives. But I truly believe that if they started to see Him at work on a daily basis, they would not only know they need Him, but desire to serve Him with all their heart. We're all built with a void inside us that only God can fill. When we don't allow Him to fill the void, we unconsciously start to fill it with other things that only satisfy for a short time. Their luster then fades quickly, and we feel empty again. If you are a leader of any kind in the church where you attend, please pray and ask God to show you a way that you can start to disciple people in the following areas. How to hear the Holy Spirit, the importance of waiting on God, the importance of believing prayer, what real faith is and what it does. The North American church is losing a whole generation of youth because they don't see the supernatural power of God at work in the lives of those around them. We Christians have an awesome God who can meet our every need and solve our every problem. We need to show a world in great need that God is meeting our needs, working in our everyday lives in a supernatural way and doing impossible things on a regular basis in our lives. It is only then that a world in such desperate need will start to let our God become their God. This is Kathy Deaton from Fan the Flame Ministry sharing with you nuggets of godly wisdom. Please check out my blog at whogodis.com and sign up for my monthly newsletter. I have also written Handbook for Victorious Christian Living, which gives practical ways to learn to hear the Holy Spirit and get grounded in the foundations of the Christian faith. I would also love to interact with you on social media, and you can sign up for my podcast in the iTunes store. Thank you so much for listening, and may God richly bless you as you seek to follow Him.